Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. Happy holidays. It is the holiday season and we are celebrating with some fun looks and some holiday themed videos. I will talk about the makeup that I have on at the end of the video so as not to bore anybody who's not here for makeup content, because this video is actually not about makeup. It's about my favorite or my top 10 favorite holiday movies, or Christmas movies specifically. Just know that I am wearing Pat McGrath, still keeping with the whole month of Pat McGrath thing, but I'll tell you which palette later. So for my top 10 Christmas films, I did this ranking based off of how I, as an adult, would rank different Christmas movies. And there's two things that I had in mind when I was picking these movies. First off, I wanted to pick movies that I was the most likely to actually choose to watch as an adult. Like if you asked me when I was younger, like a kid, which Christmas movies my favorite ones were, the list might be a little bit different. But these are the movies that I, as an adult, would probably choose to watch this season. I don't always watch all of these things every year. I try to make a point of watching my number one pick every year, and I do usually end up seeing some of the other ones that are higher on the list throughout this season every year, but I don't necessarily put these on every year, you know what I mean, and like sit and actually watch them. But these are the ones that I'm the most likely to sit and watch. The other kind of criteria for this was basically which Christmas movies kind of put me in the Christmas spirit the most, like which ones give me that Christmas magic feeling that I always had as a kid when this time of year came around, and you know, I felt the holiday magic in my soul or whatever. I don't necessarily always feel that so much as an adult because I'm a grump, but you know, these movies kind of bring that back for me. I will say though, my bottom two, I'm still a little unsure. Like I did this the other day. I wrote it down on a piece of paper and I'm still a little unsure about my bottom two. The rest of it is pretty spot on. I'm really not questioning it. It's just these bottom two. So let's start with my number 10 spot. I picked The Bells of St. Mary's. This is an old black and white film that I don't know how many people are even going to know that this film exists like these days. Maybe some older folks, but this is just a nice black and white movie with Bing Crosby and Ingrid Bergman, and it's about a priest that goes to a Catholic, parish. He goes to a Catholic parish to help them with their, private school that they have there. They're having financial trouble, and he goes to help them, and it's a good movie. There's a scene with a nun teaching a kid how to box. It's my favorite scene in the movie. But yeah, if you've never heard of that one, I would say check it out. You might not even necessarily consider that one a Christmas movie, but I do. It kind of has a lot to do with the Christmas season. But yeah, so that's my number 10 spot. I would highly recommend that one if you've never seen it. Then my number 9 spot. This one is one the other night I was laying in bed thinking about this, and I was like, am I really putting that at number 9? Like, is that really the movie that I want to pick? But because I am basing this off of what I, as an adult, would probably prefer to watch, I think this is my number 9 spot. So for my number 9 spot, I am going with How the Grinch Stole Christmas from the year 2000, the one with Jim Carrey. Obviously, I love the, 1960 something or 70 something cartoon with Boris Karloff doing the voice of the Grinch. That one was great, but I don't know. I feel like as an adult, I probably choose to put on the Jim Carrey one over the older one, the Boris Karloff one. Maybe that's a controversial pick. I'm feeling internal controversy over it, so I can understand how other people might, but let me know your thoughts on that. Which one would you rather see at this time of year? Oh, by the way, I just recently learned that the girl that plays Cindy Lou Who is the lead singer of The Pretty Reckless. Didn't know that. Did not know that. News to me. Okay, so at number 8, so this one I really picked because of the nostalgia aspect of it. Number 8 is A Charlie Brown Christmas. Every time I hear the music from that kind of short movie, would you even consider it a movie? It's like it's pretty short, right? But every time I hear like the music from it and everything, like, it's just so, it just like brings me back to being a kid and the fun of Christmas, the joy of Christmas. That one is very nostalgic for me. And my mom loves the Peanuts. She loves Charlie Brown. So all of those Charlie Brown movies were always like playing in our house at, you know, for the different seasons. You know, Halloween time was Charlie Brown and the Great Pumpkin, or whatever that's called. And then obviously Christmas time was Charlie Brown Christmas. The music in that movie is great and super nostalgic. I love the cute little tree that Charlie Brown gets. I don't know why I'm acting like it was the size of a Funko. But it was a tiny little tree and it was mad cute and sad looking. But we all love the tiny tree. Anyway, moving on from that one. Oh, my number 7 pick. So this is actually, I think, yeah, this is the only claymation one that's going to be on my list. Don't hate me if your favorite claymation didn't make the cut. There were a lot of them that I was kind of debating on, but this is the one that actually made it. So my number 7 pick is The Year Without a Santa Claus. I just love this one. Like, I would still watch this one as an adult. It's just so much fun. I love the Heat Miser and the Snow Miser. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's a good movie. That's definitely one that I would choose to watch as an adult. And I still think that it's so much fun. It's just, and I love the cute little reindeer. I can't remember which one it is. They put like socks on her antlers to make her look like a dog or something. Like, I don't know. That's such a good movie, though. Now we're getting into the really good ones. So my number 6 spot is, I mean, they're all really good, but these are the ones that are like really, I don't know, they just feel like the essence of Christmas to me. So my number 6 spot is the first appearance of Ebenezer Scrooge on this list. Definitely not the last one. Number 6 is Mickey's A Christmas Carol. This is a very short cartoon, just like, you know, a lot of those cartoons were back in the day. It's like 30 minutes long. We actually just watched it the other day, but it's so good. It's so impactful and so good. I love the story of A Christmas Carol, and I really enjoy a lot of different versions of it. You'll see that later in the list, but this one in particular just reminds me of being a little kid, and I don't know, it's a really, really good film. And I personally think that even though it is super short and they totally skip the whole like part in The Ghost of Christmas Present, they skip the whole part where they like go see Fred, Scrooge's nephew, and that whole thing, which I think is missing from it. I like that part of the story. I think that it's important. His relationship to his nephew is very important in the film, or in the story rather, and they kind of just gloss over it. And then same thing with the Ghost of Christmas Future or Yet to Come. Like, they don't really dive into the whole subject of Tiny Tim passing away in the Mickey Mouse one. I kind of get why, but I wish that it was a little bit longer. But even with all those things cut out, maybe because I know the full story, I do still feel like it's a very impactful rendition of it. So my number 5 spot is another version of A Christmas Carol. This is A Christmas Carol 1951, starring Alistair Sim as Ebenezer Scrooge. This is a very British movie. It's very, very good. It's black and white, and it's, you know, Alistair Sim plays a really, really good Ebenezer Scrooge. He's very funny while also being quite a bastard. But I just love this one, and this one, it kind of moves a little bit fast over certain things, but it touches on more things and kind of gives a more full version of the story. It's, you know, it's not my favorite version. We'll get to that, but I think that it's a really, really good rendition of the story, and it's really, really beautiful. If you haven't seen the 1951 A Christmas Carol, I highly recommend it. It's really, really, I don't know, it just has that Christmas soul to it, you know? And like I said, Alistair Sim is great in that movie. Number 4, this one might surprise you that it's not higher, but my number 4 spot is actually Home Alone. This is a movie that I've loved since I was a kid. How could anyone not love this movie? It's so freaking good. And the music in both of those movies, it just feels like Christmas. You know what I mean? Like it just gives you all the Christmas feels. So I absolutely love that movie, and it holds up to this day. Like there's nothing about that movie that isn't still like just awesome to this day. Like everything about it is just perfect. Like it's great. Not much else I can say about that though. Let's move on to my number 3 spot. In spot number 3, I am putting It's a Wonderful Life. Now again, I feel like this would be like right at the top for most people. Maybe not. But this is like the quintessential Christmas movie. Like this movie is, it's just the heart and soul of Christmas, you know what I mean? But at the same time, there are a couple movies that I personally would prefer to watch at this time of year. I did see this at my sister's house the other day. It's just such a good movie. It's so, like, it has so much heart. It's so beautiful. George Bailey is such a lovable character. He's played perfectly. Oh, crud. What is the actor's name now? I'm not going to be able to remember his name right now because I suck at remembering names, but he's played perfectly by the actor who plays him. I'll put his name up on the screen. I love him. He's always great. But he's such a lovable character, and it's really potent, I guess you could say, to see how someone so lovable and so good could still go through something as hard as what he goes through. And it's just, I don't know, it's just a really, really good movie, and you should watch it if you haven't seen it already, because I'm sure you'll love it. Also, Donna Reed is in it. She's amazing. In my number 2 spot, this might be a little bit controversial, but I'm actually putting Home Alone 2. I personally prefer Home Alone 2. It has Tim Curry in it. How could anyone not love a movie with Tim Curry? I mean, I'm sure he's got a few duds out there, but I don't think I've ever seen one. I love Tim Curry. He makes every movie good, and he's just absolutely amazing. So him being in the movie is great. And just in general, I think that the second one, it's more over the top and ridiculous than the first one, but it's so good. It has so much more kind of like going on. Like I love that he's in the city. That movie actually makes me want to go to New York City to experience like Christmas in New York. I have been to New York, you know, during the Christmas season a few times, and there's something very special about New York at Christmas time, especially obviously like Rockefeller Center and all that. But, you know, at this point in my life, I don't love going to New York. It stresses me out too much, and you know, train tickets are expensive and everything, so I don't really go very often. But that movie makes me want to go. I love that movie. We just watched it. Oh gosh, that was last night. Me and my husband just watched it, and my husband was cackling like through the whole thing. He hadn't seen it in quite a while, so I guess he kind of forgot how funny it is and all the things that go on in that movie, like the part with the bricks. He was dying. Anyway, I love that movie so much, and I definitely would place that as my number 2 favorite Christmas movie. Number 1. My absolute favorite Christmas movie, honestly, of all time, the movie that I always watch at this time of year. It always puts me in the Christmas mood, and it just gives me all of those feels. My number one movie is A Christmas Carol, 1984, starring George C. Scott as Ebenezer Scrooge. This movie, I watched this movie so much as a kid, and it has a really great score, really great acting. I love George C. Scott. Like, I love him. And it's my favorite version of, or my favorite film adaptation of this story. To me, it's like the most definitive. Although I will say that there are some things in the 1951 version that I think really kind of build the story a little bit better that are skipped over in the 1984 version. But that doesn't change the fact that I really do love this one the most. It's just beautiful. It's a really, really beautiful rendition of the story, and it's definitely my favorite Christmas movie. I always try to watch it every Christmas season. So I hope that you enjoyed this ranking. Tell me your top 10 Christmas movies or your favorite Christmas movie. Tell me how you feel about my ranking. Tell me if you think that my ranking sucks, because you have every right to feel that way. Everyone has different tastes when it comes to holiday films. Everybody gets different, vibes from different movies, and everyone grew up with different movies too. Like, I asked my friend Nicole the other day what her favorite Christmas movie was, and she said Elf, and I was like, no! Elf is so bad. Sorry. I just think that Elf is so bad. I don't like Will Ferrell, and I don't like his man-child humor, and that's like all he ever does. I don't know, I'm just not a big fan of him. Anyway, so yeah, let me know what you think. Let me quickly tell you what I'm wearing, and then we will end the video. So, still doing my month of Pat McGrath. I'm sure you can tell, if you know Pat McGrath eyeshadows, what I am wearing. It is a Mothership, and it is Mothership 10. Finally trying this gorgeous, gorgeous palette. I'm obsessed. I love it. It's so beautiful. I can't believe how gorgeous this is. I am wearing this shade here on like the inner part of the crease, this shade here on the outer part of the crease, this darker matte on the outer part of my lid, obviously this incredible shimmer all over the lid, and then I have this shimmer on the inner corner, which is like, what did it say? It's like a lavender or a lilac, astral lilac aura. Really, really beautiful. I also took the shade here under my eye, and then this shade, the Skin Show shade, what is it called? Skin Show Glow, I used as a highlighter. Pretty awesome, right? Oh, and I also used the dark matte in my brows. Pretty freaking cool, right? In case you don't know, this is the outer packaging on Mothership 10. Did I say that it's Moonlit Seduction? Mothership 10 Moonlit Seduction. I don't know if I said that. On my lips, I'm wearing an Unearthly lip liner that's on the other side of my makeup thing, and I can't reach it, but I am holding the lipstick that I'm wearing as well. It's called Ladies Night from Huda Beauty. So together, they just kind of almost look the same, but it makes for a nice deep look. I'm kind of monochromatic. I chose to wear this sweater to like go with the rest of the look. And then on my cheeks, for blush, I'm wearing, I think, Divine Rose. Let me just double check. Right? Yeah, Divine Rose from Pat McGrath, from this face palette from, I think, holiday 2022, right? That's when this came out, right? I think. I don't know. And then the usual Fenty skin tint, Huda concealer, Huda setting powder. What else did I use? Sigma eye base. Oh, I did bronze a little with my one size bronzer. I think that's it though, right? That's pretty much it. I've actually been wearing this for a few hours now, by the way. I like put this on earlier and then we like went out and did some things, hunted Pokemon and stuff. Cause I'm a nerd. Oh, Fenty mascara as well. The usual. But yeah, it held up pretty good. I did have to put a little bit of concealer like here because my glasses always wear away at the stuff on my nose. And then I tried to like dab a little bit of blush back on to like add the color back there after I put the concealer. I don't know. Hopefully it doesn't look too terrible. Like I can still see where it wore away. But hopefully it doesn't look too bad. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed the video, and I won't keep you any longer. Please enjoy the rest of your week, and I will be seeing you again very, very soon. Peace.